A bitch that we have actually went on double dates with got at me on IG and asked to meet up with her for lunch, saying she wanted to plan a surprise for my bitch and she needed help. When I met with the bitch, she did a whole confession, speaking on how my bitch was fucking around with 2 or 3 other niggas and how she thought that I was a good dude and how she really appreciated me and how my bitch was really an awful person and whatnot, and how me and her should start linking up. BossMack, what are your thoughts on this? Should I take a bitch up on her offer? All right. A nigga from Los Angeles writes to BossMack. He say, BossMack, I'm a 31-year-old nigga out here with a 2-bitch rotation. I have a ducked off 45-year-old gilf that has been holding me down for 5 years. And I have my new bitch, a 27-year-old bad bitch manager of a coffee bean coffee shop, and that is actually my main bitch. And she has been on the team for almost a year. Things have been up and down with my main bitch. She is used to fucking with niggas that be having more paper than me. I actually caught a bitch fucking around with one of her ex niggas early in our relationship. I pulled up at the coffee shop to get coffee and I seen the bitch sitting in a Tesla with old boy. I parked in the cut and observed them and they looked like they was in love. I didn't blow up the spot. I just informed the bitch I had pulled up and seen that. And I actually cut a bitch loose after that. But she begged for her spot back and I let her back in the fold. The new shit is last week, one of her friends, a bitch that we have actually went on double dates with, got at me on IG and asked to meet up with her for lunch, saying she wanted to plan a surprise for my bitch and she needed help. When I met with the bitch, she did a whole confession, speaking on how my bitch was fucking around with 2 or 3 other niggas and how she thought that I was a good dude and how she really appreciated me and how my bitch was really an awful person and whatnot, and how me and her should start linking up. BossMack, what are your thoughts on this? Should I take a bitch up on her offer? Very interesting there, right? Very interesting. We have a nigga with a bitch that he has actually caught fucking around with a nigga before. And now her friend is warning him of her whole treachery and how she likes him. what to do right there. What to do, what to do, what to do, to do. Well, the BossMack the BossMack would advise not to fuck with the bitch, not to fuck with the friend. You know what I'm saying? And if it is if there is treachery going on, um just dismiss the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Dismiss the bitch. Dismiss a bitch. You know, put a press on a bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't seen nothing, you ain't you know you can't you can't tell. But what you can do is you can press a bitch. You know, like you do know, like you could be like, look here, man, you know, if you're unhappy, you know what I'm saying, you know, we ain't gotta be going through with this, you know what I'm saying? If you don't wanna fuck with me, you free to go type shit. And see how a bitch respond to it. But I would not fuck with her friend based on that type of dialogue. We don't know if that's a we don't know if that's like a setup or and then it could be cap. You know what I'm saying? It could just be the bitch just want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And either way, like if you was the fuck with the friend, it would come to the surface. You know what I'm saying? It would surface and would be ugly. So I would press the bit. I would press your bitch about her happiness. You know what I'm saying, and see what the texture of the response is, and be vigilant for the disrespect. Like if it's disrespect, if it's disrespect and you've been ignoring it, you know, you know what I'm saying, because she could be influencing you because she a bad bitch, and you overlooking the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? But I would press a bitch and see how she respond. You know what I'm saying? How you know, and try to gauge the response of how she respond to the press. Of her happiness. Also, I wouldn't tell on her friend either. I wouldn't say nothing about her friend telling me that shit. I go ahead and keep that on tuck. You know what I'm saying? And just I might ask her some questions about her friend, how tight is y'all and whatnot. But I will keep that on the tuck. But just press a bitch and see how she respond, and be vigilant for disrespect and shit like that. But I would not fuck with the friend like that. That might be like a setup or something. I don't know. I don't like that type of shit.